This video is not about fearmongering, nor is it about villainizing Hecate. It's quite the opposite, actually. It is, however, the truth as I have lived it and am currently living. And I have come to the conclusion that I think it might be this part of your spiritual journey with Hecate that this is where people get scared and they may turn away from her. And this could also be what has triggered videos from folks saying that she will lay waste to your life and upend everything. And I want to talk about it. This is the messy, hard, terrifying middle. And this is where I am becoming. This is the middle where I really don't know who I am anymore, half the time. This is the middle where I wonder where my joy went. This is the middle where I wonder if it's worth it. This is the middle that is full of stress and fear because I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's coming. Like I said in my last video, and I'll link it up here somewhere, where I'm talking about the ugly middle. I can't go back to who I used to be and what was, but at the same time, I don't know what's coming, and I can't see what's ahead of me. But here's the thing that I think is really important. I think this is a really important part. I asked for this. I didn't realize it at the time, but I asked for this. I asked her when I first started working with her back at the end of 2017. I asked her to help me reach the life that I wanted. And not just spiritually, but wholly, like the whole thing, like what I wanted my life to look like, how I wanted to feel. I asked her to help me get there. And I also want to state that these changes did not happen overnight. Where I am right now, it is 2025. I started this journey with Hecate in 2017. So it's been a gradual kind of descent, if you will, to get to where I am. And I'm going to explain that more as we go on in this video. And I also want to state here also that because of everything that I have been going through lately and the epiphanies that I've been getting and the stress, there was something that was birthed from all of this that I'm actually shocked that I did. But stay till the end. I know I hate it when people say that, but stay to the end and I'll tell you what it is. And, there might be something in it for you. So anyway, let's keep going. I asked for this, and this was a gradual descent, if you will. So I've told my story a little bit before, but I'm going to tell it again, and I am going to tell it using the lens that I have now looking back and the insight that I have now to what was happening back then. So that's how I'm going to be framing my story. So if you've heard it again, I apologize, but I also have some insight I want to share about it. So November 2017, that was the last time that I was a full-time direct employee of a company. I wasn't a contractor. I was not a temp. I was a full-time, directly hired employee with vacation, benefits, and everything that comes with being a direct hire. Okay. And I love that job. I really love that job. I left a job I had been at for 13 years for this job, and I loved it. So I'd been there a couple years. I'd saved up my money. I went on the trip of a lifetime to Italy, and it was amazing, and I had such a good time, and I came back, and I felt wonderful and amazing. 2 days after I came back, I get called into the office, and I was informed that the company had reorganized, and in that reorg, my position was eliminated. So I didn't have a job. 2 days after I came back from this wonderful, once in a lifetime vacation, I lost my job. And in losing my job, I lost my apartment. So I had to move back in with my parents at, I don't know how old I was, 46, 47 at the time. Who wants to do that? Okay, so this was, that was October of 2017. So I moved back in with my folks around November. This is also when I started seeking some more. I had left Christianity probably a year before, but I'm still a very spiritual person, and I was looking for something. And this is when Hecate started calling, and I didn't know who she was. I mentioned it several times before. The only time I had heard her name up to that point was in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. One episode for sure, 2 episodes maybe. Anyway, I didn't know who she was, so I did all my research trying to find out who she is. Okay, so I'm doing this, move back in with my parents. Shortly after that, I think it was February 2018, my dad had a really bad accident. He basically broke his neck. He was paralyzed for a little bit, but he did eventually get his mobility back. But he was 80 at the time, 79, 80 at the time. But he was also diagnosed with cancer, all in this time frame. Okay, so this is February 2018. I'm living with my parents. So I lost my job, moved back in with my parents, but my dad's had a bad accident and then has cancer. Some good things happened. Unemployment gave me the permission to go back to school. So I didn't have to look for work. I went back to school, which is something I've been wanting to do for a while. So I was able to go back to school. Living with my parents while my dad was going through all of this, I was able to help my mom with, help with him. And I was also able to spend quality time with my dad before he passed in 2019. And I cannot tell you how blessed and lucky I feel that I was able to do that. And I was able to do that because I lost that job that I loved. If I still had that job, I wouldn't have been able to spend that time with him because of where I lived and the commute to get to my parents' houses. It just would not have happened. Let me see, I've got some notes here. I want to make sure that I'm staying on track. I was able to spend 2 years with him, helping my mom and spending quality time with him. And again, this is time I wouldn't have had if I was working full time. Now, he passed February 2019, and actually the same day that I was supposed to start a 12-month contract position. So thankfully they moved out my start date, so I had an extra week before I had to start. So, yeah, I got a job. It wasn't full time. It was full time, but it wasn't direct. But I was still able to go to school and grieve and do all of those things. So when that contract ended, so now we're 2019 going into 2020, somebody reached out to me about an intern position at a very well-known company based on what I was going to school for. So I got that. So go from contract position to intern. Again, not permanent. It's 12-month internship. So that was good. Lots of experience I got with that. And during this time, I was like, I could see and I could feel me being like moved into position for something. I don't know what. But looking back, like, I understand now where I was being moved to. So the internship ended, and I got my next position, which was like a 3-month technical writing gig. So like I said, that lasted 3 months. A few weeks after that ended, I had interviewed for a really good job. It was a contract position, but it was different in that these contracts were years long. I did get benefits, and I got a stipend for benefits, time off, sick, all that. So it was almost like a direct hire position, but it was a contract still. Loved that job. Excellent money. I've mentioned that before. So I was happy. I was content. During this time, I was also making jewelry, and I was starting this. I had started this channel because there were things that I wanted to do. But I wanted to do my jewelry so bad, and I wanted to do magical things full time so bad. I think, you know, the old saying, be careful what you wish for because you just might get it. There's truth to that. There's truth to that. So I wanted to do all these things really badly. Well, my contract ended early, so I was only there a little over 2 years. My contract ended November of 2023. I was devastated, but I didn't stay devastated for very long because my roommate at the time and I were talking about full-time RV living and going down to Arizona and selling our jewelry and all that, because she does jewelry too. She's also my best friend. So I'm like, okay, that's what we'll do. That is what we will do. So, because I got a trailer shortly after I started this job. And I got a truck too. So it's like, okay, pivot, do jewelry, go down to Arizona, sell it. It's going to be great. And this is what I'm going to be able to do for the rest of my life. That's not exactly what happened. I've shared this part of the story a little bit too. I wound up having to go by myself. And, you know, I'm not going to go into why I had to go by myself because that's not my story to tell. But I did go by myself, and I'm very happy I did. Did I make the money that I needed to support myself without unemployment? Absolutely not. So I came home in March of 2024. I learned some things. I do not regret that for 1 second. But I learned some things that I needed to learn about running a business. And then some personal things about myself as well. So I came home. So I had talked about gradual descents, right? Okay, so here I am, left Christianity. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm seeking, lost my job. My dad got sick. I had to move in with them. But I was able to go to school, spend time with my dad, found Hecate. Okay, great. I have a job. Then I get an internship. That's great. Fantastic. I get a technical writing gig. That's great. Shortly after that, I get this really good job. So things have plateaued. Things are going good. Things are actually going up a little bit, right? And then I lose that job. And I'm not making money on my business that I need to make to support myself. So then I have to move back in with my mom. And this is where we're at. This is the descent. This is the big descent. This is where I am unbecoming. This is where I struggle some days to know who I am. I struggle some days to remember the dream that I have. And I'm kind of veering off my notes. So I come back in March. So I was just showing you how, like, you go down and then it plateaus, and then you go down again and then it'll plateau, and then it'll go down again. So it's like this stepping stone. I asked for this. I asked Hecate to help me figure myself out, basically, for lack of a more fancy way to put it. So from March to August, I was looking for work, diligently looking for work. I don't even know how many resumes I put out. And between March and August, I'm doing all that, trying to get my business going. But of course, I'm stressed and depressed. I am on the verge of losing my truck. The trailer had an accident, so we were able to total it out through insurance. So that was a blessing in disguise. But I was able to keep my truck. It was very, very stressful, and my credit tanked. I'm depressed. I'm stressed. I can't find a job to save my life from March to August. I finally land the job that I currently have now. Supposed to be temp to perm. I'm still a temp 10 months later. So things have evened out and things are starting to go up a little bit. But I am going to tell you, this is not for the faint of heart. And again, I asked for this. And it's rough. And I know that it's necessary. And I know that she is with me. And I know when I come to the other side of this, things are going to be amazing. I've turned a little bit of a corner in these last couple of weeks because I'm seeing all of the hard work that I have been putting in this channel, and then other things that I'm doing in the background, the ideas that are coming, the things that I am birthing are going to be amazing. So I hope you guys stay with me. I have some big things planned and that I'm working on that are coming. But it's still not easy. I'm very grateful that I have turned a corner because it's been dark. It has been dark and it has been stressful and it has not been easy. And we see like, oh, you're starting your spiritual journey, light, love, woo woo. It's all fantastic and great. And then we see my spiritual journey and I'm glad I went on it. And this is where I am now and everything is beautiful and rainbows and unicorns. What they don't tell you is that middle part that is dark, that is stressful, that is full of not knowing what's coming, depression, not knowing where to turn, not knowing the next steps to take, not knowing who you are anymore, and where you fit, like even in your family, in your friend group, in society in general. Like nobody talks about that. And I think it is super important that we talk about it and we are frank about it, because I know I can't be the only one who have searched for information about this part and I can't find it. That's why I am making these videos. That is why I'm talking about the things that I'm talking about, because I've looked for these types of videos and I've not been able to find them. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And also in the last 3 weeks, my purpose, my why has really come into sharp focus. And this is it. Nobody talks about the dark, messy middle of a spiritual awakening and what that looks like and what that feels like. Because if you're like me, you might feel like you're the only one because you're not in a place where all of these content creators are saying or making you feel, they might not even be saying it, making you feel like you should be like grateful and happy and love and light. It's all bullshit. It's crap. And that's not the reality. That is why I am making these videos. Okay? I'm going to try not to rant too long. So it's rough right now, yes, but I also know that it is very necessary. So I'm persevering. I am putting one foot in front of the other. My creativity has come back. Like I was mentioning before, I have birthed something. It is called Touch Me Not. It is a book. There are a couple of recipes in there, spells, if you will. There's a STFU spray. And other things to help manage this period of time, but it is also written with some humor, because levity and humor when you're going through this is so important. So it's kind of recipe book / spell book / journal / like crafty, like it's coming out. I've got to make one little tweak to the back cover and then it's going to be up on KDP. Okay. So what I am going to put out to you guys if I will give a free PDF copy of this book to 5 or 10 folks, the first 5 or 10 folks that respond in the comments that they are interested. And the only thing that I ask is that after you read the book, if you give an honest review on KDP. Now, this video is going to go up before the link is live. When the link for my book is live, I will drop that in a pinned comment. So if you're interested in a free PDF of this book that was birthed during one of the darkest periods of my life, it is written with snark, sarcasm, and humor, drop a comment below and we will figure out how to get you a copy. Again, that's for the first 5 or 10 people. And that is really all I have to say about things at this point. Drop a comment below if these videos are helpful to you. Let me know what kind of topics in this sphere you would like me to talk about, and I will start making a list so I have more content. I have a lot more content anyway, but if this is something that is really resonating with people, and I believe that it is, just simply because of how my channel is growing, I love you guys for it. Your support is amazing, and I am truly humbled. Just let me know what topics you guys want to talk about, and I will make the videos. Until next time, may Hecate's torches light your path, and I love you.